right, my friends, and that brings us to the end of our time with the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch kit. Now, in an earlier video I released a few weeks ago, we talked about the fact that we did have to close out the Inside the Kit series, mainly because it just wasn't financially feasible for me to continue on with doing that. But I was honored to have the Yamaha Stage Custom kit in my studio. I was pleasantly surprised. You know, a lot of the times when we talk to drummers and we figure out what their first kits are when they're getting started, or maybe even the first kits that they recommend for folks that are getting started, it's oftentimes a Pearl Export, a Tama, Rockstar, or Imperial Star, you know, the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch, maybe Mapex Armory. There are a few kits that always stand out as consistent recommendations by drummers, but then also kits that drummers themselves started out with. And the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch is a consistent kit that fits that mold. And I will tell you guys, I was so surprised. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons of this kit, because I think it's important to know what you're getting into if you choose to pull the trigger and buy this kit for yourself. So let's start with the pros. The first pro is that snare drum. But something about it, you guys, that thing cracks, it snaps, it sounds incredible. It fit every style of music we played. I was able to tune it up, it kept its tune. Again, no matter what drum head I put on it, it sounded awesome. It was a freaking workhorse. That is probably the best snare drum I've ever played at that budget price. I mean, again, you can buy that drum now, I think it's like $100. I'll put it right here on the screen, it might even be less than that right now. But that snare drum sounds so good. It was easy to tune, easy to keep it in tune. It fit every style of music I was playing. Every head sat on it really well, felt really good on it. And honestly, I was consistently blown away by the snare drum. And the fit and finish isn't the best. It's not top of the line because it's a budget entry-level drum set, but it's still tonality-wise and versatility-wise and performance-wise. I mean, it's stacked up next to $800, $900 snare drums. I mean, this thing was an absolute beast. Which, speaking of beasts, another pro would be that kick drum, 22 by 17 inches. Really nice sweet spot. You know, 18 sometimes can be a little bit too deep. 16 is kind of my happy place, but a 17 right in the middle. You got all the attack that you would get from a shallower 16-inch kick with all the boom that you get from an 18-inch kick. It was a really nice sweet spot. The kick itself felt really good. Even though the spurs looked like they were going to be kind of skinny and maybe not very reliable, that kick drum never moved. It didn't move a single time the entire 90 days we had it in the studio. I never had an issue with that kick drum sliding or moving or adjusting on me. The hardware on that was honestly second to none. That kick drum was a rock. I never had to worry about it, and it just sounded really good. It did sometimes fall out of tune, which I think is common when you're doing lots of double bass. But again, you throw an EMAD 2 on that thing with an impact patch, it sounds as good as some of these other expensive bass drums I've had in the studio. And again, at the price, I mean, you really can't beat it. Another pro I want to talk about is the finish on this drum set. I mean, God, it was so beautiful, and it was a painted finish, and it was on those birch shells. It had the burst going on. The blue color was beautiful with the kind of, again, darker blue burst fade on the edges. I mean, it was beautiful, especially for the budget that it was. The finish detail was incredible. But that brings us to the cons. Now, the first con is a little bit of a pro and a con, and I'll tell you what I mean, and that is the toms. Once you get them dialed in and you get the right head combination, you get them tuned really well, they sound unbelievable. I mean, again, you could put them stacked up against any of the expensive kits I've had in the studio, like the Reference 1 or the DW Collectors or the Design Series, any kits that are way more expensive, and they sound just as good. But that's where the con starts, and that is fit and finish with the hardware. We have really thin rims on these drums. The tension rods are very short, as well as they only have the metal washers on there. With that, what I found is the toms consistently and constantly fell out of tune. I would find myself, one, having to tune it at the very least every time I came to record anything, but also a lot of times in between recordings. But again, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to be constantly tuning it all the time. Now, the pro to that is once you get them dialed in, they sound insanely good, and it helps you get some reps in so you can become better and more efficient at tuning. Again, it was a constant effort to keep those drums in tune. The second con I want to talk about is, again, fit and finish with the hardware. I'm going to show you guys a clip here of the tom mount on the 12-inch tom. All right, guys, so I'm sorry this is iPhone audio. It's not very good quality here, but I was getting ready to record and I noticed that this is literally loose at these screws. Like, I don't know if that's showing. Yeah, look at that. It's like literally coming loose. So again, this is going to be part of the review when we get there, but like I have never had to come in and like tighten the drum back. You can see it. Look how loose that was. That's kind of nuts. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but that was a little nuts. Anyways, fixed now, but I wanted to share that as part of the review. So as you saw there, again, these mounts, the yes mounts on the lower end Yamaha Stage Custom Birch are just held in place with Phillips head screws. On the higher end kits, they have like a true nut and bolt type situation where that thing is not coming loose. I mean, you can hit that thing thousands of times, you're not going to have an issue, but on this entry level kit, as you saw, it became loose just from the vibrations of me playing the drum. In fact, the way I found that was I came into the studio, sat down behind the kit, and I saw the 12-inch had like completely dipped. And then I did this and realized it was loose, came around, tightened it, and it went right back into shape. What's crazy is once I took the kit apart when I was getting ready to sell it and get, close up this inside the kit series, it had come loose again. Is it something that you should expect with a more affordable kit? Sure, but this kit all in with that extra 14-inch floor tom was about $1,300. So you would expect a little bit more from that price point, especially because, DW Design Series kits like $1,600, somewhere like that. I could be wrong, I'll put it right here. And you don't have those same problems with those kits. So it's just something to consider. But again, it was pretty frustrating when you're going into play and you have to stop and literally put your drum back together. We also had situations early on where the 10-inch tom completely fell off the yes mount, so I had it tightened on, and because of the vibrations, the wing nut loosened and the drum literally fell off in the middle of me playing. If I can find the clip, I'll put it here, but if not, again, that did happen very early on. And then also on the floor toms, the legs, although they look and felt really robust, again, with vibration, the wing nut comes loose and the floor tom would kind of fall down while you're playing. You have to set it back up, tighten it back up. So again, are these little things? Potentially, but again, if you're out gigging, if you're playing, even in the studio, it's things to be mindful of. Now, this is an entry-level student kind of level kit, so some of these things are to be expected, but those are some of the things that really stood out to me as why this would not be a kit I could really ever recommend for a professional to use. Tonality wise, you can get that thing dialed in to sound just as good as a $6,000 drum set. But the hardware, the fit and finish, that's where this thing comes short. That fit and finish on the hardware really was the kind of biggest opportunity with making this kit incredible. And I will say though, guys, I used this kit for 90 days. And what I found was that this thing is an absolute workhorse. I could use it in any style of music. I could play, metal on it. I could play rock on it. I was able to do all of my sound tests on it. I was able to do YouTube content. I mean, I was able to do all kinds of stuff, and I didn't feel like I was missing anything. Were there some annoying bits about it? Sure, but like tonality-wise, feel-wise, I felt great. And I think that if your budget is limited and this kit fits in that budget, and you're okay with, again, really making sure that hardware is super tight and kind of constant retuning, then I will happily recommend this kit for you. Or especially if you're a new beginner or a student, or you're maybe just getting back into the drums, you're not really sure if this is going to be something that you want to go to that pro level with. This kit is a no-brainer. It's affordable, it looks beautiful, it sounds incredible. It just requires a little bit more maintenance than maybe something a little bit more higher end. With that being said, guys, those are our pros and cons. That is my review of the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch kit. Although I'm disappointed we can't continue the series by pulling in the Mapex Armory and some of the other kits, I will continue to do reviews like this. I will continue to give you guys the true details of what it's like living with this gear. Whether it's the gear that's permanent in my studio, like this Gretsch USA Custom, or it's things that come in and out of the studio, like snare drums, or different pieces of gear that we test out on the channel. I will always give you the brass tacks and let you know what I think of the instruments that come through this channel. But with that being said, my friends, thank you so much for watching this. I'm hoping that we can return and revisit the Inside the Kit series. Maybe it's a once a year thing versus 4 kits throughout 1 year. I don't know yet, but I'm hoping we can revisit it in the future and test out more drums on this channel so I can let you guys know how these things perform in a 90-day period of time. But again, guys, if you do want to support the channel, make sure to click the link below where you can become a Patreon member. They get all kinds of goodies like behind the scenes, direct messages with me, discounted mentorships, and all kinds of goodies there. And again, it's only 16 cents a day for the snare drum member and 32 cents a day for the drum set member. It's a no-brainer, it's a discounted price, and it is direct access to me and behind the scenes of the channel. Another way you can support me is by picking up some merch. Get your Arizona Drummer Behind the Kit hats, t-shirts, hoodies, shorts, all kinds of goodies. I put new designs out there all the time. Hit the link below, check them out, pick up some for yourself. They're super high quality. I wear mine all the time, and honestly, it feels better than some of the shirts I buy from the department store. So again, really make sure to check that stuff out. Those proceeds come right back to the channel, help me to continue to invest in making these types of videos for each and every one of you. And a free way to support the channel is just to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, and follow me on Instagram. All those are free, take just a few seconds, and really help drive the algorithm so we can continue to grow and make more awesome content for each and every one of you guys. And that growth helps us revisit this Inside the Kit series in the future. But with that, my friends, that's gonna close up today's video, and thank you so much for watching, but I will see all of you in the next one.